Getting started here in a second. Let's see what's going on tonight. Is today Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. My golly. All right. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Glad you've made it halfway through the week like me. So I'm Randy, and thank you for joining me on my live stream after hours. The live stream airs on Wednesday and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this episode is airing on January 26th, 2022. In case you're watching not live and you don't know the date or, any of those things. But so we're going to get into some tech news like usual. And got to open up my can of seltzer that I just cannot live without. Apple is spying on users even more with client-side scanning. Apple's client-side scanning ruins iPhone security for everyone. This is the YouTube video I'm referring to. One of my favorite YouTubers, he kind of talks about, he's more of a privacy guy, talks about privacy and all your tech devices. His name is Rob Braxman. I'm a big-time follower. I love his channel, his content. It's great. Stuff I never think of. It's always on his channel, and it's really happening. He's not just making stuff up. It's really interesting if you're into that kind of angle of tech. So he talks about the Apple client-side scanning. Now, Apple's doing it to, combat, explicit photos, especially of like children and stuff like that, which is, great. That stuff's evil and it should be taken care of. However, when you're dealing with topics like that, you also got to, see if the company's using these, methods to, or if it could be abused by somebody else potentially. So anyways, Rob Braxman's channel is phenomenal, and he breaks things down better than I could ever do it, or any security channels that I've seen. And if you go to YouTube and search for Rob Braxman Tech, it's Braxman is his last name, is how you spell it. You'll find his channel on there, or on Rumble or Odyssey, I believe. I think he's on both of those. I know he's on Odyssey. I really like Odyssey. It's clean and no ads, just simple. I mean, it's just nice. But the concern to me, though, is that iOS is a closed source operating system, and he talks about that a lot. And we don't know how they're doing the scanning. They're scanning for these bad things, but how are they doing the scanning? They're doing it to everybody's phone. It's happening on your phone if you have your photos in iCloud. Great, yeah, keep us safe, Apple. And, if some creep's got some creepy pictures on their phone, yeah, throw them in jail, whatever. But beyond that, like, how is this scanning being done? When you have an open source operating system like Android, we know how it's being done because we can see the source code of, different builds of Android as it's released. And that stuff can still happen. Like, they could still do the good, like scan for photo. We know how it's being done. The only concern with Apple is that we don't. And, I think it's really cool if a company would step forward and just be like, here's the source code. We're going to keep working on this stuff. Here's our source code. This is how we do it. You're big enough, you're big enough of a company where you could make that happen, in my opinion. But pretty much Apple, though, the way they're doing it that we know is they pretty much get the hash from illegal images. So maybe they get those images from a source, like, I don't know, law enforcement or something that says, here's the illegal images or whatever. And it compares them against what's on your phone. And Rob breaks down how this is already a failure in some ways because, it could be a failure because if you alter the photos, like crop, hopefully you're not having those kind of photos, but you're altering them on your phone, and then the hash is automatically changed. It's not going to be the same at all. But of course, there's AI and stuff like that could scan it and know other ways, which, okay, cool. But that's just one angle. But do you feel like you own your device anymore, is what I'm getting at? You really don't. And it's like, and you're still paying for it. And it's almost like that you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Look that up. Look up that quote. It'll come up on Google as the World Economic Forum. It's disturbing, and it's right out in the open to read. And it's, but it's kind of like the way everything's going, with all these subscription services, Adobe and everything. Everything's a rent service. You don't buy your CDs anymore. You rent the music. You have nothing. It's not in your possession anymore. And if you have a CD collection, that's awesome. I wish I didn't get rid of my stuff like that. I do have some stuff like DVDs and Blu-ray, I guess, of concerts and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of wish I didn't get rid of all the CDs. I know it takes up a lot of space and it's weight, but I did own something. I did own music. Now I don't, right? It's just I'm renting it. But that's just one thing. But I don't feel like we really own stuff, and everything does seem to be going away from that, even video games. But yeah, look up that quote if you're interested in getting into some conspiracy or creepy stuff, I guess. But government, government's going to want a piece of this also, as far as Apple. I mean, they want that backdoor to the keys to the system. I mean, why wouldn't they? The 3-letter agencies, they want in on that. I mean, will they force Apple to comply? I don't know. It's just a matter of time, I guess, on that. So next one is Neil Young ordered Spotify to remove his music because it's on the same platform that offers Joe Rogan's podcast. Okay, boo-hoo, but he then apparently deleted the letter according to an article that I'll link here. But then today again, Reuters reported that Spotify is removing his music. So I mean, at first it was like, is it happening? Is it not happening? Apparently Spotify is removing his music. I mean, yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, the guy has some cool stuff out there, right? I mean, I'm not going to bash him because he's old and insane, but no, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, it's just said, Young even said that Spotify accounted for 60% of the streaming of his music to the global listeners. And, so they report that they are removing his music, and they said it sucks to remove your music, but we hope to see you back. And, you're nuts. So they didn't say that last part, but that would be really interesting. And maybe he'd come back if they would just bust his chops a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of crappy. I mean, I don't listen to Joe. I listen to old clips of Joe Rogan podcast if it comes up in my YouTube feed, I guess. But I'm not a subscriber to the channel or his show. But I've seen some clips from his show, and there's some cool stuff on there. I don't know. I know he's got some things people disagree with out there. I mean, like, I know he said stuff about the rhymes with schmaxines. You don't want to say that word on the internet. Apparently YouTube will ban you. But he says some stuff about that's pretty controversial. But okay, if he did, then just ignore it. I mean, I don't know. That's what I think. But so people want, apparently there's thousands now, or 1,000 doctors that want him canceled. It's just like, dude, people are going to dumb. They're going to dumb all they want. They're going to do what they want. If you think they're being dumb, let them be dumb. Just let people do what they want. That's my freedom. So, I don't know. Apparently people want him canceled. And I'm just like, dude, I mean, Spotify's paying him $100 million for his contract. He's brings some value somehow. I mean, the guy's got talent. He knows, whatever. So that's happening apparently, or that has already happened. That's a bummer. But, hopefully Neil Young, comes back to Spotify. That would be cool. YouTube bans Dan Bongino after he talks about leaving YouTube. He's a right-wing commentator. I don't know if he's like his own show or if he's like Fox, because I know he's on Fox. I flipped the news channels. I've seen him on TV. I know he's on there. And New York Times spins the article a little bit, stating that Dan dares them to ban him. But apparently he said some controversial stuff too about either vaccines or the treatment of COVID. I don't know which one of those it was. And they basically banned him. But it was like right after he talked about like quitting. He's like, I'm going to quit. My audience is at Rumble or something like that. And like the next day they banned him. That seems a little suspect. Come on. So once again, YouTube's reason they used was misinformation, a term that they really love to use for anything that goes against their beliefs, it seems. But I think the real problem is that he has millions of followers on these other platforms, namely Rumble, and he'll continue to grow. As of this live stream, he has 2.06 million subscribers on Rumble. I checked. I had to go look and see it because I heard he had a lot, and he's not banned there. And Rumble is a platform that seems to support, content from all sides, and it doesn't kill off content that goes against any particular view, which that's cool. But it does seem they're a little more right-leaning, which you got to kind of have a balance to keep your users, I would think. And I don't know. I think if they could, like, I don't know, if it was just like more central, I guess in the middle, I would say people would be on there. I think they would get a lot more users, like YouTube has. But then just be fair. Don't be like, knocking people off there, in my opinion. But on that note, several executives are leaving YouTube. So that's interesting. Ryan Wyatt, Jamie Byrne, and Heather all seems amicable. But it seems kind of weird to me. I don't know. And, Rumble definitely needs to work, though. Going back to that subject, I'm balancing the content. It does seem a little more right wing, and I'm a guy that's kind of like in the middle. I like to listen to both parties and see what, decide who's nuts and just kind of go with what, makes sense to me, I guess. But anyways, Windows 11 is to get taskbar improvements and more next month. So the operating system that I forgot about for a while, I even did a video on how to use it like maybe a month ago, and it got a decent amount of views for how crappy and small my channel is. But it caught my attention that they're going to get these improvements because maybe it'll encourage me to upgrade my desktop to, something more like Windows 11 instead of I'm stuck on 10. So, I don't even know why I still haven't switched to my main camera. I guess I don't care to show you what I'm reading because you can just hear me read it. But if you are viewing live, I could just go to the screen that you can see where I get some of my sources. Tech Meme is one of them. They tend to have a good, what do you call it? My brain is fried after working a long day. What do you call that? A curated list of, I don't know, topics for tech. So a lot of it's kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, I guess for these Windows 11 updates, they're also redesigning Notepad. Wow, that's a first. And Media Player to include dark mode and design tweaks to make it more like Windows 11. So it'll fit in. It just doesn't seem like they said, hey, here's Windows 10. Oh, hey, here's Windows 11. There's a new name on it. It's supposed to, so they kind of rolled it out quick, and now it's almost ready. But the Android apps, though, that's going to be a cool thing. They're going to make it more like a public beta or they're gonna a public preview, but it's still in beta, and you'll be able to run these Android apps on Windows 11 without workarounds like you've been doing in the past if you cared to do that. Which that's kind of cool. Maybe you could troubleshoot or just try out apps on your computer if you don't want to pick up your phone all day. Microsoft added that there has been a 6-fold increase in people using Cisco, WebEx, Slack, Teams, and Zoom type apps, which I definitely can believe that over the last couple of years. But Microsoft will add a feature in these type of apps that will allow you to hover over the app on the taskbar and then give you the option to do like your window sharing with people that you're on a phone call with. And that's even if you don't pay for a phone plan to use a phone dialer in Teams, you can still use Teams to, make Teams to Teams calls, just like how all those messaging platforms work, right? Some of them might offer a phone plan, but message to message, it's already in the app if you have an account with that app. So this is pretty cool. I'll post the source link in the show notes. And that's all I really have today. Thanks for joining me on this Wednesday. We're getting through the week here, and we'll be back on Friday. Thanks a lot. Bye.